Today we have a review of the Stanley Adventure series of coolers. I happen to have all three sizes here today, the 7 quart, the 16 quart, and the larger 30 quart. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to start with the 7 quart on the left here. Now all three coolers have the same basic sturdy design, and they have a sturdy handle at the top here that kind of clicks into the lid, and it doesn't shake around. It's just very solid when you carry it. Now that can be folded down to the back or the front so it's out of the way, and then you have your latches here, which are very tight and very sturdy. You don't have to be worried that those are going to pop open on you while you're walking or when it's bouncing around in the back seat. Now, when you open the lid, one of the things that makes the Stanley cooler stand out is that there is a gasket here on the lid which seals the top of the cooler, and that's what makes it stand out from your average cooler. That helps to keep the cold air in and helps to keep your food and beverages and ice colder longer. I would say that the Stanley coolers are a good intermediate cooler to like your Yetis, your Pelicans, and your Arctics. I think you're going to pay a lot more for those brands than you would for the Stanley. But the Stanley, it's a bit cheaper, but you still get a high level of performance because it's very solid and it has the gasket. You'll also notice the bungee cords on the top here. Both the 7 quart and the 16 quart have that on them, and I've found that handy as far as maybe strapping on an umbrella or a raincoat or your suntan lotion, any kind of small items that you want to bring with you that you don't necessarily need to have in the cooler. Since I have all three sizes of the cooler, I found that they all serve a different purpose. I've used all three of them for various different things. So the 7 quart is good for your average day trip or maybe for work when you just need a couple of beverages and your sandwich to keep them cold all day. The 7 quart's going to have no problem taking care of that for you. The 16 quart is better for a weekend trip, where you need to keep more beverages and more food cooler for a longer period of time, or maybe you have a couple people instead of just yourself. You might want to move up to the 16 quart and bring that with you. The 30 quart is better for camping, picnics, and maybe barbecues. I know I loaded mine up last weekend for Memorial Day weekend with all of my barbecue food and beverages and found that it worked great. There's a couple of differences with the 30 quart cooler. The handles are on the side, the left and right. That's because this is a larger cooler. When you load it up, it's going to be quite a bit heavier, so you would probably want to handle it from the sides. Another thing is that it has the drain port down at the bottom over here. That's handy as far as when your ice melts, you can just tilt it and unscrew the drain port and drain it out. These smaller coolers don't need that. Okay. Lastly, the top of the cooler doesn't have the bungee cords. Okay. It just has this kind of flat recessed area with some drainage ports on it, and you can just kind of lay stuff on top of it. And I've actually used it as a stool to sit on. It has kind of a taller design to it, so it's kind of perfect for that. And it's just so solid that you don't have to worry. You can sit on top of it. One of the other things that I like about the 30 quart is that it has a taller design to it, so you can fit your 2-liter bottles and beverage bottles upright. You don't have to lay them on the side like you do with some of the wider design coolers. So for me, I find that to be an advantage. All three of my coolers are in the dark green color, but it's my understanding that Stanley now has particularly the 7 quart and 16 that I've seen in white and also in red. So you have a couple of color options there. But I happen to like the green because I do a lot of camping and outdoors kind of stuff. So I don't know. I kind of like the green. It's kind of like a camouflage type of thing. So there you have it. My quick overview of the Stanley Adventure series of coolers. The 7-quart, the 16, and the 30. Small, medium, and large. Very solid, very sturdy, very versatile, and they work very, very well. Highly recommended. Have a great day.